親の言うべきことじゃねえとは思ってるけどな。死んでも母さんを助けろ。
This is a good banana. A really, really good banana. This episode was really, really soul crushing. And I'm being very, very like genuine. Like this episode really had me in shambles after I watched it. As of the moment of me recording this, it's like 9:55. It's Monday night. I got back from Houston. I went on a business trip, whatever the case is, and I wasn't able to watch this Sunday because when I watch stuff, I like to sit down on my computer back here, eat some food, watch it, just because it's better than watching it on your phone, in my opinion. And I gotta say, after sitting down, watching it, this episode literally has had me shook. Like an hour after I watched the episode, like I said, 9:55, like basically an hour ago, I sat down and then just like sat there for like an hour just thinking like, damn. I just kind of sat there reflecting on the episode, and then it got me thinking of my own personal stuff, and I'm just like, an episode like this really hit me as hard as it did. Also, big spoilers if you're not following Mushoku Tensei, you haven't kept up with the latest season, stay away or do not. But I gotta say, Paul's death, even though I was spoiled by some light novel readers, even though I was spoiled by TikTok, I knew what was gonna happen. But there's a difference between knowing what's gonna happen versus when you see it happen firsthand, and watching it on the screen, it is really, really different. It's like when people like spoil a movie for you, like a sad movie, like, yeah, this is gonna happen, versus you watching it, you feel it. It just hits you, all these emotions, everything about it's just so different. And that's how I feel watching this episode. This episode just had me there sitting like, it just had me in tears towards the very end. You kept thinking to yourself, no, come on, Paul, you've gone through worse. You may be a dick, but come on, you can get through this. Even though it's written in the light novel, maybe they'll change it, but no, just when we were starting to grow, get around to liking Paul, they kill him. They just end him. The same shock Rudy had when he discovered his father is the same feeling I had when watching it, especially when it zooms up and it shows him just laying down as a corpse, and then the last thing he does is smile as his eyes fade away. That really had me in shambles, like absolutely crying shambles. It's by far the saddest episode in Mushoku Tensei. I think you can ask the fan base, this is probably the saddest episode up to date, and it's really good. Everything about the fight, the music, like, I really love the dynamics between Paul and Rudy. How at first they were like butting heads, they weren't getting along with one another, but once they go to the labyrinth, once they realize Rudy is his mother, his wife, Paul's wife is there, they're on a mission. Despite Rudy thinking to himself, I don't even know this woman, I don't even see this woman as my mom, she wasn't really there compared to Paul, someone who kind of raised me, someone who actually taught me to do things. Zenith was just kind of a woman, I never really bonded with her, and I guess it's kind of feels different for Rudy's because, like, in his previous life, he didn't really have that big of a connection to his parents. So for him to be in this world, to actually have a connection with his father, but to be kind of distant from his mother, it's just kind of hits him a bit differently. He probably regrets it now after rescuing Zenith, after all they went through, after Paul dying. For Zenith to not even speak, for not even to remember who Rudius is, it probably has him in shock. He went through all this. Paul died essentially for nothing. They rescued his mother for nothing because she's essentially comatose. She's essentially just in a vegetative state where she doesn't even know how to respond. At least that's how the episode ended off, where Rudius is lamenting, sitting there like probably thinking, was this even worth it? My dad's dead, my mom's basically dead, so what am I gonna do now? I'm essentially done for. Like, what was the point of any of this? And I really have been loving the second season of Mushoku Tensei, how it's especially focusing on grief and overcoming trauma, like past trauma, even future trauma. It's really well done from the beginning of the first episode of the second season. like how he's kind of depressed, how he's depressed after Ares left him, towards his like highlights of him getting a wife, doing all this, and just now after his father died, how is he gonna tell this to his sisters? How is he gonna tell this to Sophie, who knew Paul growing up? Like, how are they gonna feel? Like, Rudis probably has it the hardest at the moment, and you gotta feel bad for the guy. Like, even though you may or may not like Rudis, you really gotta feel for him at this moment. In his previous life, he was distant from his parents, and in this life, he was pretty close with his parents for the most part, and now they're gone. So essentially, he's going through the same pain over and over again. Despite in his previous life, he didn't really care too much about his parents. They left him to rot. He was alone. Now he truly feels alone. He had the second chance to be with his family. Now it's all gone. He can never get that back. And to me, I think that's the beauty of this episode, how it succeeded, showing, yeah, your parents are here. You never know what you have until it's too late. And now it's too late. Rudis is just lamenting, sitting there like, damn. I gotta say, this is probably the saddest episode in like the entire series, in my honest opinion. It's one of the episodes that genuinely made me cry. Not too many animes like shows currently make me feel like this, but like this one just honestly hit different. But the fact that they dropped this on Father's Day is insane to me, man. Like, I was unable to watch it Father's Day. Like I said, I was in Houston for a business trip, and now, I saw people on Twitter talking about this. I saw people on TikTok talking about this. I avoided spoilers for the most part. And yeah, everyone can agree, dropping this on Father's Day is very heinous. It's very devilish. But overall, it's a pretty good episode, and I cannot wait to see the conclusion of the second season. The Labyrinth arc has been by far my favorite arc in the entire series of Mushoku Tensei. This series is up there, along with Kaiju number 8, as my favorite for the spring anime season. And anyways, with that being said, what did you guys think of Mushoku Tensei this episode? Did you cry? Did you not cry? What are your thoughts? RIP Paul, but yeah, that's pretty much it.